Hello and welcome to another Overlord and Skeleton Knight lore video, and today we will take a look at some of the key differences between Ainz and Arc, the undead king and leader of the supreme beings from the light novel and anime Overlord, and Arc, the friendly neighborhood skeleton from the anime and light novel Skeleton Knight in Another World. Because in this day and age, isekai is apparently evolving from a subgenre of anime into its very own genre with its very own subgenres. Because with Skeleton Knight, Overlord, I'm a Spider So What, and Slime Sekai and likely many more to follow, we are experiencing our own monstrous isekai world invasion kind of thing. But before we are going to take a closer look at all of this, let me thank my Patreons for supporting this channel, as well as all users of the YouTube thanks function who made one-time donations. Thanks guys. Now with that said, let's dive right into the first topic, namely the background of Arc and Ainz. Because while both Ainz and Arc were single guys living alone in Japan and harboring a deep passion for RPGs with a certain loot factor, and while both have ascended to more or less the elite in their respective games, the timeline is completely different. While Arc has been brought to this new world after sleeping in front of his PC in the current day Japan, Ainz and Arc, originally named Satoru Suzuki, also known by his in-game avatar's name Momonga, lived in the grim dark future of the 22nd century. To give you a quick rundown, in the year of 2138, the biosphere of Earth has collapsed completely. Gigantic corporations control the government. There had been a European war waged with nuclear weapons, further polluting Earth. The rain is just as toxic as the long work hours, and leaving your home without a gas mask is deadly. The once pristine nature of Japan has completely collapsed. People are isolated. Health problems are a daily concern, with lungs giving up around the age of 30. And the only respite from all of this is delivered in the form of massive multiplayer online role-playing games, such as Yggdrasil Online, the game that Ainz and Arc had played. Furthermore, Ainz was ultimately left alone, even in this online world, since all of his friends and former guildmates stopped playing the game due to real-life responsibilities. The hope of them returning is the only thing that kept Ainz and Arc going. This had led to a completely different mindset. While Arc has an easy time forming new social relationships, even while being a skeleton, and genuinely caring for the well-being of others, Ainz still clings to his past friends, unable to form meaningful relationships outside of his memories of them, though he still can feel respect for others and feel compelled to take revenge, for example, during his duel with Gazev or when he avenged the Swords of Darkness. But these feelings are never getting in his way of his own aims, goals and ambitions, which are to further the well-being of his NPCs, who were created by his friends, in order to honor the memory of them. This is especially noteworthy because Ainz and Arc are both suffering from an emotional dampener. Both Ainz and Arc thus are calmed down during stressful situations, and both, despite being just normal everyday dudes, have no problems violently killing other people within a few hours of being transported to their own new worlds. However, Ainz and Arc's emotional dampener is much more severe, which in combination with his isolated past and his depressing life made him a much more melancholic character than Arc. And while Ainz's happiness and laughter gets also dampened, Arc can feel jolly emotions seemingly as intense as in his past life, and he can laugh and feel excited as much as he wants. Due to the difference in emotional inertness, Arc can also have erotic interests, something that Ainz is virtually impervious to. Hence why only Arc gets excited by the existence of elves in his new world. And speaking of things which you wish to pet, Both also have acquired pets while questing, though once again, Arc feels genuine attachment to Ponta, while Hamuski is more or less a subordinate colleague and the occasional source of embarrassment for Ainz. Another sad difference from Ainz Ulgon's perspective is that Arc is able to eat and drink food in his new world, while Ainz Ulgon can't do it. Well, he can technically still chew food, but it would just fall down into his now empty ribcage, and then hit the ground, or get trapped between his bones. And cleaning such a complex body can be a rather lengthy process, though at least Ainz Ulgon can still smell the food. But in turn, Arc also suffers from the feeling of hunger, even though he is a skeleton. And that is because, spoiler alert, Arc isn't, technically speaking, a real skeleton, but just a cursed elf. Later in the light novel, his true form is also revealed, and it has been described as rather handsome, which might also explain why Arc can actually eat and drink and feel hungry. While in contrast to this, Ainz Ulgon's class and body is that of an overlord, an immortal advanced form of a lich, likely inspired by Arceurek, an undead dungeon master from Dungeons and Dragons. But oddly enough, both Ainz and Arc are considered cursed, because unlife itself is seen as a curse, and the curse of Ainz Ulgon can only be broken by the seed of a world tree, an incredibly powerful world item, which would allow Ainz to change his class to human or any other living thing again if he wanted to. And the last two differences are related to their respective games and their own different new worlds. While Arc is a power gamer and now freed from many of the in-game restrictions. This is also why he can now cast fire magic from a class previously locked, despite being unable to do so in-game, ever since he had acquired the class of Heavenly Knight. Ainz Ulgon's build, in contrast, was heavily focused on role-playing aspects of his game, instead of min-maxing for battle, and this is in spite of not only being part of a infamous player-killer guild, but also one of the founding members, and its current guildmaster. And with that said, I hope you liked this little in-depth comparison between the two skeletons and their respective new world. And with that said, I say thank you very much for watching, and special thanks to Dash Dash Dash, Bad Guy Yee, Ben C, Chrissy, Crowley0221, Sia, Death is Mercy, Deathless Dragonlord, Dystopia, Dystopia II, Thiralshivan, Guy with That Head, Hector Marino, Hoss, Huster, Jacob G, Jana B, Jason, Chromius, Legendarius, Lelouch Britannia with a Mustache, Lexus Fox, Lord Nishikian Rai, Lord Touch Me, Merovec, Mr. Shoes, Mr. Tweaker, Michael R, Michael Y, O'Kill, Overlord General Gasper, Paddy Pantum, Paz Sonich, Primus 11, Shadow Lightning Wolf, Shrine Keeper, Texas Deer, The Orc Warboss, Rock Ed Smasher, T.E. Wang, Vash Hawkeye, Vegito 27, Venture Fanatic, Wilhelm, and Zonegon. Thanks guys. Anyway, have a nice day, and I hope to see you all again soon on my next video.